Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of our DIY bossing series. The next couple of episodes will focus on the Sorceress class. I've been playing and leveling the Sorceress in the past couple of days, and we've been while leveling, while farming, and finding all sorts of different gear. Been also doing some bossing, and I wanted to, of course, cover them on this series. So while playing the Sorceress, I kind of had a couple builds I was looking at. There were all sorts of interesting stuff that you can do with the Sorceress. So I wasn't sure which ones I wanted to focus on, but the idea was that if somebody invests in a Sorceress, usually they would have one out of three skill trees kind of focused on. They would either play a fire build, a cold build, or a lightning build. So we had our skillers, right? And we had some for each class. We had the cold ones, which we have most of. We had the lightning ones and the fire ones. And if you're playing on ladder, generally you'd be focusing on one of these because you'd find skillers for one build and you wouldn't really switch between one element to the other. Also, if you are a lightning build, you'll build an infinity for self-wield compared to fire and cold that you'd be building a Merrick infinity. So there are all sorts of differences. So the idea was I'll take one build out of each skill tree, at least to Ubers, to Declone, to Rathma. And the builds we ended up doing were Frozen Orb for cold, Chain Lightning for lightning, and we did two builds for fire. We did Hydras, and we did Meteor. Mostly thinking for cold, Frozen Orb I think is the most popular build. For lightning, I think it's Lightning and Nova, but Chain Lightning and Nova, but Nova is slightly less suitable for bossing. Same with Frost Nova. Slightly less suitable for bossing, mostly because you need to be very close and you're kind of locked into place while doing it, so it leaves you a little bit more vulnerable. For fire, I know that combustion is a lot more popular than both Hydras and Meteor, and you can technically do tier 0 bossing with combustion. It just requires a little better equipment than what I had, I think, at the time when I did the boss runs. It's definitely viable, it's definitely doable. I'd bet you'd be using a lot of fireball and a lot of combustion, but it's just Meteor and Hydras are just way more suited, so I preferred sharing those with you guys. I will start with the cold one with Frozen Orb. That'll be today's episode, and in the following days hopefully I get to release the other two. So with that said, let me pull the video kind of showing bossing with Frozen Orb. And the Frozen Orb, Ubers and bossing, we did it on somewhat day 2-ish gear. You can see that the Ubers we're doing with full towels. If you were following the Sorceress Rags to Riches, you might have seen some of these clips. But you can see that full towels, Frozen Orb, super strong, super viable for Ubers. Just very, very powerful, and it only gets better with other gear. So you do it incredibly fast. You get an Act 2 Defiant Smirk. You're mostly getting him to tank for you. You can heal him, or if you're lucky like me and you get a little well over there, you can just drink from the well to make sure you heal him in time. But you can see that he's not even close to dying. He's not getting one shot or anything. You just need to make sure he got some PDR on him, he got his resistances and all that, that you're not that he's not getting one shot by anything because of it. Yeah, and as usual, Lilith being the true Uber in this entire journey, with both with searching her and with killing her. Yeah, and you can see me having 2 slots for mana potions while mapping and doing Ubers with this build. I've really noticed how much mana it drinks. If you have if you have SOJs, if you have all this mana gear, it might not be as bad, but still Frozen Orb, if you cast it at a reasonable pace, it drinks your mana. So make sure to kind of pay attention to that while using Frozen Orb. It's okay to leave a row or two for mana potions if it saves you time in terms of mapping or in terms of farming. Yeah, and you can see we went through it, took a little bit of potions, but we went through it. So we get our Merc back. I believe that yeah, we get some potions. And I was mostly on mana potions. I really didn't think I'll need that many health potions for this. Pretty sure I get lower resisted here. Yeah, so we just teleport back. The Merc instantly dies which is a little bit annoying, but you know, is what is. I found like a way to just kind of cheese Diablo a little bit by standing over this wall. He was kind of struggling to land any attacks on me other than this firewall, which didn't really do anything. So we just ended up cheesing him from the side there. And it cost us like two big Jews, so not like a big deal. If you're wondering why I'm teleporting away, it's to despawn the clone. I guess I didn't travel far enough, so it didn't actually remove him. But killing Bale was also really easy. You can see me like trying to move away from all the skeletons while throwing orbs. The thing with Mephisto is really just like trying to keep your distance, not get like shotgunned by all these like little lightning bolts. But again, this is like a day 2 Sorc running like full towels, super easily dispatching. Like with the Ubers fight, not at all a challenge. I also took this full tile Sorc to declone, so you'll see that this fight, I'm taking a lot of mana potions. This is not something you need to do. I just never lapped this. I never like tried this fight before. This was like a first attempt ever with Frozen Orb, with Sorceress, like on Frozen Orb. So I didn't know if I'll need the mana, and like early on I thought, oh yeah, I'll need it, and apparently I did not need it at all. Yeah, you can see that the damage is so incredible that I accidentally double phase, and this was with worse gear than what I have right now. It's like not with full skillers, it's full towels, it's not like a Death Phantoms or something crazy like that, like Medusa, Death Phantom, Nightwing. With like only max fire res I'm getting, I think, from Waterwalks, and again we double phase just because the damage is so big. So for anybody who is playing Frozen Orb or playing cold builds and wants to do like a quick declone, they're not sure if they can do it, yeah, you're ready. Okay, you're ready. Just do a respec, get into Frozen Orb. You basically just max the synergies. The rest of the skill points don't really matter too much. You can keep like the same like mapping build for Frozen Orb. That's what I did for this fight. Yeah, you just make sure you dodge like the damage. If you see too many skeletons are piling up on you, you can teleport away. You don't need to be close to declone during the skeleton phases. You can see I'm just like what you call orb walking. I'm taking a few steps, throwing an orb, taking a few steps, throwing a few orbs. And if he's throwing the lightnings out, then you can try and like get away from him. But otherwise, you're kind of fine. Yeah, make sure you're not standing on these spirits. I mean, you can, if you have that many Juves left, you can just stand on it. Don't risk it walking into a Nova or something. But generally, you'll be fine. Yeah, that was the declone fight. Extremely easy. What was super simple to do. Didn't require several attempts or anything. And you can see all these mana potions, I really didn't need them. And now you can see our Rathma attempt. The Rathma attempt I did with different gear already, mostly because I did it on a different day. And I wasn't like using the full towels anymore. So I was using a Death Phantoms. Death Phantom gives you a ton of fire resistance, so it's very nice. It's also the most common weapon used by Sorceress. If you have one that already has facets in it, that's even better than what I'm using. Like generally, like the full mapping build that people would use has better specs. Like this is a Nightwings. It has pretty bad like facets in it. So it's like a pretty bad example of a Nightwings, but it's still like a Nightwings. I had an SSF, so I figured I'll use it. I use it on my Druid as well. We have this 2 to Sorceress, 50 PLR, and this is where like crafting items for doing like, you know, DIY Rathma can seem a little confusing to some people. Basically, just craft some brilliant amulets, and if one of them hits poison length reduction and the skills for the character that you want, ding ding ding, that's your bingo. You can use that. This is 50 PLR. If you get 75, that's even better. You don't need the FCR normally. If you get it, it's awesome. The old res, as you can see, hit really low, and the extra res hit on lightning, which doesn't even matter for the Rathma fight. You can find more tips like that on my bossing 101 video if you're not sure what you should be aiming for. Again, shields, just pick up random rare shields. If you find something with PLR and all res, you're good. You don't need the extra skills, like it's enough to have that. Guardian Angel, I really recommend just keeping one in your stash for bossing if you like doing this kind of DIY bossing. It's not necessarily the best for doing Rathma, There are plenty of other better options. It's just what I have, so it's working. And you can just have rubies inside. You don't need jaw runes, nothing fancy. Just perfect rubies are fine. They will do just great for you. I'm using a venom grip. Again, not very common to use. We're using it for the 5 max poison that it gives because they don't want to change around the gear too much. This is something that online you'd never see people do. They would just use a Venom Ward or an Andariel's helm. I just don't have a good Andariel's, so I figured I'll just use the Nightwings. There are a lot of ways to figure out like your maximum resistances, and you can see I'm using a BK and a Rex for some FCR and plus skills. You can use a Snow Clash, it gives you maximum cold. And yeah, you can see that our resistances are like 87 to poison, 84 to the rest, mostly because of the Guardian Angel giving us 6 to everything. And we have like a Nature's Ring, which is usually pretty important. We have 125 poison length reduction, 50 from the amulet, 50 from the shield, 25 from the boots. You can easily have 75 from amulet, 75 from shield as well if you want to be a little bit more safe. We get half freeze duration from both boots and helmet. Usually you'll have it from like helmet and belt if you have a Snow Clash. And then you'd run something like a Venom Ward for the armor, or you could have half freeze on your belt and on your gloves with something like Lava Gouts. That's just not what I ended up doing. I was just working whatever gear I was finding, honestly. I didn't expect this to be very difficult. And we have a CTA on the Switch. Always have a CTA on the Switch, that's always nice. Skillers, mostly plain. We have like one large arm with 2% cold just because it had a lot of life on it. And having nice flat life is always good to have for Rathma. And yeah, I'm not sure why I'm walking to my stash. Oh, because I forgot to make a Voidstone, obviously. Yeah, very normal stuff. And yeah, I just skipped the in-between phases just because they take so long. But we went with the same gear that I just showed. And you can see that like if you're like walking around throwing the orbs, you can try and hit like 2 golems with 1 orb if you want to, but really don't need to. You're not like stressed for time. You can see the damage I'm doing is so high that the phases just go by so fast. I forget to even put potions in my belt in between the phases. So yeah, you can like pretty much clear them pretty easily. You can teleport over the cold wave and teleport away from the poison novas that he's throwing at you. If you have the time, but you're just doing so much damage that it feels like there is no time to dodge. You're just like clearing it so fast. So as you can see, clear the golems, killed the guy in the middle. I put some potions in because now I realized that I've just been ignoring that and doing damage all the time. Yeah, and you can keep your distance. You're like not too worried, not too stressed for time. Yeah, I wasn't being too careful of the glacial spikes. Generally, I'd recommend actually slowing down for this fight, not being that stressed for damage, and actually like dodging properly the glacial spikes. Like you see, I wasn't stressed for potions, but still I was like getting close to dying on some of these situations. Like there's no reason to risk it really. There's a lot more time than it feels like, at least in this fight. And here you can see that we immediately summon like all the skeletons and they just die instantly because of this insane AoE. I like having a little bit more noise during this phase, so I turn up the volume. But yeah, you clear all the skeletons very fast. Another perk of this build, again, is when you're getting caged, since you're already throwing these orbs, they just kind of auto-clear the cages for you. They do take longer than I expected to kill the cages. You can see that sometimes like the second orb already casted before the cage is being broken. But as is, like it's still not terrible. You can keep your distance from the Void Knights during the Void Knight phases. You don't have to be close to them at all. You can just cast from the other side of the screen. You can see we cleared this fight in probably record time. Like it was so fast. It took us 6 potions, and even that while I was juving even when I had like 300, 400 life missing. So really strong. And I don't know why I kept a little bit of this footage in. Okay, yeah. It's just me searching for the exit, I guess, or clearing stuff for more EXP. Yeah, there we go. So final phase, not sped up or anything. This is just the actual time that it took me. You can see I'm hitting both targets with the frozen orbs. You can just line yourself up to hit the skeletons as well. Then I teleport away. Okay, I tanked the sludge novas. You can teleport over them. It didn't feel necessary. I just wanted to, yeah, here, sometimes you can teleport over it if you want to. It's not like necessary. In tier 0, you can just tank it and drink a potion. There's nothing wrong with that. You can see I'm just standing in the middle now, throwing frozen orbs. Not too worried about anything. Once the knights come out, I start to go towards the outer part, so the knights don't really aggro me. I drink an antidote. Yeah, this cage took a lot of time to break. I'm not sure why exactly. That was pretty weird. As you can see, like, they kind of, like, all the Void Knights just kind of die without me focusing on them. And whenever you see these two guys standing together, start shooting your orbs. Mendelin almost dies before they manage to get, like, the last phase out. And I'm just trying to stay away from the Void Knights as much as I can while casting my orbs, keeping my distance. They can, like, curse you. Like, the Crapify does feel bad, but it's really not big of an issue. Mendelin insta dies after the Void Knight phase. And you can see all you have to do at the end is just, like, dodge a spear, throw orbs, dodge a spear, throw orbs. Super, super easy. I wouldn't be surprised if this can do tier 1 as well, honestly. I haven't seen anybody do tier 2 with this, so I don't think it can do it. Probably somebody tried. But yeah, this was the DIY bossing with the frozen orb. Honestly, way easier than I ever expected it to be. I was kind of like cautious in the beginning when I was thinking about bossing with Sorceress, but it ended up being a lot easier and a lot, yeah, that's bossing volume. It ended up being a lot easier than I expected, a lot simpler in general. So I'm really, really happy with the results. And hopefully, if you are mapping or just farming with Frozen Orb or other cold builds, this encourages you to try bossing with cold builds as well. That was the third episode of the DIY bossing series. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next stream or in the next video. If you like the content, make sure to like and subscribe and do all the free shit that hopefully can be done with the click of a button, as long as YouTube doesn't change it. And yeah, have a good whatever you're having. I'll see you in the next one, and bye bye bye.